Ooh, hey, is this working? Huh, this actually looks like it's working pretty good. Let's see, let's get that nice angle. Oh, nice. Very glad. Cool, yeah, it looks like it's cool, billion times better. Cool. So, nice. Now that we're here, um re-ask the drumming question. Or actually, I can refer back to the Twitchums chat and pull up some of those questions still. Uh, let's see. Actually, no, go ahead. Re-ask questions here. What did you want to hear me talk about? Would you want to hear me play? Would you want me to do? Okay, so why did Bone Rage go from open hi-hat in riff and closed in verse to always closed? Yeah, there are just lots of little changes that happen as especially as you play things night after night after night on stage. You just kind of find things that work better than what you originally had. And for Bone Rage, um, at first, I want to say, like in the very early stages of it, uh, I think I just kind of kept it, open the whole time like that. But I think a little later on, I think I just kind of uh, it's a little tighter, you know, and I give it a little more slush in the big riff bits, anytime that the guitars come up. But I would close the hi hat when it was just kind of Courtney singing, so's to let there be more emphasis on the singer and the pretty words that are coming out of the mouth and the pretty notes and all of that kind of stuff. Okay, you want me to play something from Kiss? I'll do that in a moment. Let me just get through some of these questions first, and then we'll have a little uh, song play time. Do I have anxiety now when people tell you to break a leg before shows? Yes. I also get the someone will say break a leg and then go, oh, but not really. I get that one a lot now. Um, re-ask the ones about what's new to me in general. What's new to me in general? Well, recently I've been I've been trying to program beats a little more. I have a Splice account, so I'm getting all those cool samples and stuff like that. So I've been trying to build up my production chops a little bit more. So that's new to me. Also, what's this business about being banned from crash cymbals? No, that is us. It's not that I'm banned from them. There's a strong dislike of them within the band, myself included. I mean, I love playing crash cymbals, but like they are a little they take up a lot of space sonically. Um, I like China cymbals a lot, and I like nice rides. I'm a fan of that. Do I have a favorite song to play live? Holy Ghost is really fun. Way Too Long was always fun. Give Us the Gold. I enjoy playing. Cradle of Rocks is always fun because I get to just do kind of an unabashed Bill Bruford theft, or my attempt at a Bill Bruford thing. So those are fun. I haven't checked out the Dirty South vocal pack on Splice. I should do that. I found one that was all just like generic, like Game of Thrones esque lines with like kind of generic demon voices saying "destroy you" kind of stuff. Um, so that that was wild. But what do you say we play a little music? Let's start with a Kiss tune. Let's see what Kiss tune. How about uh what about well, let's see. Someone name a Kiss tune. Which one? Don't say Rock and Roll All Night. Don't take it there. But let's maybe something off of like what about something like 100,000 Years or Magic Touch. I actually don't know all that well. I haven't listened to Dynasty all that much. And that also that was let's see. Let's look at other. Let's look at other ones. What about? Okay, let's try this tune, and I'll try and play along with the drum solo. Provided that my music app. Oh! This is a live one with a drum solo, and I'm going to try and play the drum solo. It's pretty, Is the audio level good? playing along with the solo so hard because his time is all over the place. It's speeding up and not slowing down so much. And it's just all that. There's a lot of, it's a study in single strokes, you know. So there was that one. I thought playing along with the solo, well, I was my idea was to try and play along with the solo, which everything in that solo I can do. That's an extremely kind of egotistical thing to say, or it sounds so at least. But everything in that solo is something I can do. It's just it speeds up and slows down so much that playing along with it and having it sound remotely listenable would be very rough. Never found a single stroke to get the job done. Yeah, so how about this? Let's here, I got another song for you all. What about why don't we talk about okay, so Bentley has a song called Cradle of Rocks. And in that song, I stole the way that I approach that drum part by or I stole that kind of thing from a fella named Bill Bruford, who I'm sure many of you in here are well familiar with. You know, but one of my favorite songs to play on drums ever is Frame by Frame, which was, of course, on King Crimson's 1981 classic album Discipline. So without further ado, my friends, I'm gonna play for you Frame by King Crimson. So here it comes. Here it comes. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Such a pretty song. Hopefully it'll start. Oh boy. Oh, my friends. Oh, why ain't it starting? Oh, there it is. Oh, we're here. ASMR. the film from the Deja Vroom DVD. Oh, so good. So good. Oh, wait, no, hang on. Ooh! Speed it up, Fripp. All right. Yeah, that was fun. Well, okay. Mate Kudasai is coming up after that, or at least it does on the album. And I will talk about that song in a little bit because that inspired another Bentley tune, drum part wise. But frame by frame, and really a lot of his drumming on the Discipline album. For instance, like Thela Hunjinjit, right? You know, which that really, that's where Cradle of Rocks comes from, right? You know, when you lay that down, you know, that whole thing. Like that's all from Bill, Mr. Bruford. I took that from him. How's the chorus I'm recording for Courtney going? It's going well. It's I'm still working on it. Still working on it. But I am excited. It's a lovely song and it's going to be amazing. You know, Courtney always writes amazing stuff, which is very great. But Mate Kudasai, I kind of took, because if I remember the part right, it's I kind of hacked that up and ate it and regurgitated it as the groove for Insides In on the Land Animal album, right? And the thing about this song is actually, or at least for me, really hard to play. Or it was when I was learning it, because this switching thing, you know, ding, you know, hat ride, hat ride, hat. Or there was that, but then it was then in the second verse, right? Doesn't it double? Yeah. I think it does that. I don't know. But it's been so long since I've played that song. But I definitely that's another kind of thing that I took from Mr. Bruford. Thank you. The production for Cradle makes the Bruford pattern sound new. Oh, well, hey, yeah, Vince is wonderful at his job. Vince is wonderful at his job. Joe says, Gavin, I'm gonna go make music, but seeing you play frame by frame, oh, it was a highlight of my day, and I will use it for energy in my juice expulsion. Bro, expulge that juice, make your music. Trust Fund Ozu, go check it out if you haven't heard it already. But I'm imagining if you're here, like Olive Garden, your family, and also like Olive Garden, you are a sponsor of the Trust Fund Ozu album. It's so good. It's so good. All right, let's see. Sham says, "How do you train to get your hi hat and kick foot doing different rhythms? For example, or first example that comes to mind is the beginning riff to Land Animal. I keep ruining the kick rhythm. So, oh, do you mean the or well, that's that was not how I normally play that. I played that weird. It's been a long time since I've played a lot of the Bentley songs. But my point, uh, or the point is, so getting the it's really like it's like anything, you know, getting your hands to be able to, play different subdivisions. It just takes time and finding a nice kind of pattern to repeat. And the great thing about that is that you don't even need to be sitting at the kit to do it. If you're, say, sitting at your kitchen table or whatever, sitting on your couch having your morning cup of coffee or whatever, you can try or you can do just like I was doing with my hand here. You have one, let's say, have your left foot go 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then have your foot go 1 and 2 and 3. Right? So it's the same pattern, just flipped. So you've got uh, uh, and that's the kind of thing. When you start it, you're going to want to start it really slowly. You know, uh, and just kind of things like that. I know for me, a lot of my personal trajectory came with as the music that I listened to got more complex. The stuff that I was trying to learn, which a lot of times was, albums and stuff that I was listening to, got a lot more complex. Like, for instance, I didn't even necessarily think about having your hi hat going with your foot as you're doing like something on the ride. I didn't really even think about that as something to do until I started listening to Smashing Pumpkins. And if you for those of you that are familiar with Smashing Pumpkins, like let's see, what's a good example of this? Well, Jimmy would do Jimmy Chamberlain does a lot of things like like all that kind of stuff. So it's something that'll develop for you. That's a very long and rambly answer on my part. But that being said, what do you guys say to another song? Do you guys want a bent knee tune? Do you guys want me to play something else? What would you like? What would you like? I'm gonna take a swig of sweet H2O. I am a fan of water. Do a bent knee song. Okay. Any particular requests? Maybe something off Say So. You gotta pick the one album I don't own and have. I mean, it's all on YouTube, of course, so I can pull it up. But Cradle is a good one. So how about this? I'll do Leak Water and then Cradle. Or is leak water too? Is that too? Guy comes on stream, only plays big hit. Well, not a big hit, but um, that kind of thing. Oh, Intruder. Intruder's a good song. I'm not gonna play the whole thing just because it's the same thing, and I'm gonna get some of these Bentley tunes. But for those of you out there who are Peter Gabriel fans, um, it should be pointed out that Intruder, a lot of people when they play Intruder, especially live, will do just between the kick and the snare, right? Which I'm guilty of doing when I sound check, because a lot of times I'll ask for kick and snare in my monitor. And when I ask the sound person, "Oh, can I please have some kick and snare in my monitor?" They'll say, "Oh, play kick and snare," and I'll just instinctively, But the original loop, because that song is a loop. Phil Collins played drums on that, and he's not just doing the kick drum the whole time. What he's actually doing, it's between two floors and then the kick. So he's doing. So there's a little Intruder lesson for you. And also, that song, Primus covered that song. It's a really good cover. And when Tim Alexander of Primus played it, I believe he played something like, hang on, it's been a while since I've played his version of it. Or no, I forgot exactly how he voiced it. Just a lot more toms to, because he didn't have the benefit of that big gated reverb. So here comes. You had a nightmare figuring out skin. Can't tell the version with the tom and kick apart. Yeah, it's a it comes. It comes. All right. So let me see if I can find Counselor. Should be here on. Okay. Counselor. And me. Look at me going to YouTube for my own band songs. What am I doing? What am I doing? This is gonna sound weird, but I can't find the original version of Counselor. I could play it to the live one, and I think that's what I'm gonna do. Live at the Space one. And so let's see. Can you guys hear Can you guys hear that? How about now? Well, okay. How about this? How about for this one, because I don't have the track in my iTunes. What if I'll listen to it and I'll just play along, so you'll just hear my really good drum part, my drum part. I think that might be the way to do it. Is that okay? Is that bad? Is that bad? Is that a bad thing to do? Isolated drum part. Okay, cool. So here I'll start it, and I'll kind of describe the parts where I'm not playing. I'll describe, and this will be fun because while I'm certain the song will come back to me as I'm playing it, I have not practiced this song in quite a while. So I'm pretty sure I remember it. Okay. So we have some nice crisp ambience right now. The violin, you can hear a little feedback, buzzing the snare. This is the live from the space video. So, all right, 3 times through the violin thing. All right, the 4th time's coming up. I'm thinking, all right, I'm gonna start soon. Nope. Hang on, I forgot how many times. It's coming up though. Here it comes. Kiss me, counselor, you're so sweet. When the dog, I think you. Oh, I didn't tell you anything. The 10 months. Messed that up. Kiss me, counselor, you're so sweet. I cut. Yeah, the drum thing comes from. Hang on. It's one of James Brown's drummers used to do that. Oh, that. La 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 la. I forgot about that part completely. Where do I come in? The when? No. That's right. Bink, 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 bink. Ben's guitar is here now. Here I come. Nope, not. Oh yeah. Street boy, flashlight, window, crowbar, Xbox, side park, while they don't know, close mouth, don't leave me alone. Oh wow. While they don't know, close mouth. Drink badgers with their tea. My friends, they really hurt me. And that is in the live version, all the live versions. That is me singing that at the end. Yeah, definitely feel free to download this and chop it up and make it good. And make it good. All right. People. It's my little Paul Stanley there. So, Cradle, I'm hearing. Why don't we do a little cradly wadle? A little cradly wadly. Let's see. Cradle. Of. Ox. Stretch my little arm so far. Okay, and Cradle of Rocks I will have up here with the audio in your faces because that one's on Spotify. And by Spotify, I mean Apples of Music. Oh, just kidding, friends. It's the Apple Music. Okay, so Cradle of Rocks, Bill Bruford impression coming at you. And it's been a while since I played along with the studio cut of this. I want to say there's some edits or some things that were changed counting wise in this, but we'll see. It'll be fun. Do I know anything from the Brown album? That's one of my favorite Primus albums. Maybe we'll get one after this. I think I get the count in, right? Yes, 8-hour writing days are exceedingly tough. Oh, thank you, Rin Mar. Thank you. Yeah, that's as a drummer, that's something that I strive for more and more is to have my drums just sound like more of like an extension of the song, yada yada, all that stuff. You hear a lot of drummers talking about playing to the song and yada yada. It's cliched, but it makes a lot of sense. What's that symbol right near the camera? If it is a symbol, this guy. This is a stack of a bunch of cymbals. This is my brother's kit that I'm playing. So this is a stack that he's got. So I like the way it sounds. It's very nice. Yeah. What's a sample of Courtney talking from anyway? It was from one of the writing sessions for the album when we were in a studio. I think it was when I think that was still when I was home in California with tending to my broken leg and ankle, convalescing, as it were. Also, what's the vocal sample on "Love Me Not"? That's Chris Baum doing the "Ladies and Gentlemen, Boys and Girls" part. Yeah, that's Chris Baum, but pitched up very highly to like prepubescent levels of vocals. That is also Chris doing the screaming. All right. Let's see. Okay, there was a request for something from the Brown album. I do love that album. It's one of my favorites. It's funny because it's not exactly an album that I've like torn apart in the way that I have some other Primus albums. But I mean, obviously, Brain is the drummer on that one, and he's just a goddamn monster. He's so good at the drums. He does it good. He does it oh so right. He's a good drum guy. So I think I was thinking Fisticuffs. Good idea. I used to know how to play Golden Boy bass. I've just forgotten the riff. I'm sure I could learn it. Fisticuffs is a hell of a tune. So is Puddentane. Oh, I love Puddentane. Bob's Party Time Lounge. Oh, such good. All right. Well, here's Fisticuffs by Primus. It's been so long since I've tried to play this. We'll see how it goes. I only saw clips of Shredding Repus. Primus for you. A little Primus never hurt nobody. A little Primus. Yeah, that's a very fun song. I haven't played that one in a while, and obviously, I was kind of not exactly playing note for note what Brain played. Um, I think a lot of my concept of how Stuart Copeland plays comes from how Brain plays. That was a thought I had when I was playing that, and I thought I should share it with you, my friends. Woo! A little Primus is good for the soul. A lot of Primus is good for the soul too. What? Oh, oh yeah! All right. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. How about let's see. Let's do another bent knee tune. Or no, you know what? I don't know. Do you guys want to hear another bent knee tune? I imagine as bent knee people, you may have heard the stuff uh, too much. So I understand. But if you want to hear another bent knee tune, I'll play one. If you don't, another bent knee tune would be great. Okay. Okay. Let's go back then. Let's go back. Doot, 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 doot. Hitting back in the Apple Music, trying to get back to the Bentley albums. Oh yeah, here we go. That it sounds creepy when I talk like that. Yeah, just make weird noises into the mic. That's gonna be good. That's gonna be good. Okay, what about? Oh yeah, here's a deep cut for you that is one that I like to play, and I haven't played it in a while, so we'll see if I remember it. We'll see if I remember it. We'll see if I remember it. We'll see if it even plays. Oh, we'll kind of play along, but here's some name that song, friends. Oh, Courtney named it for you. Who's SGM? I don't know. I'm blanking on what those letters mean. Won't even lift its finger. One big city full of dust and sleep. Wailing sirens low. Oh, Sleepy Time Gorilla Museum. Yeah, they're great. Here I go. Distant horse, lifeless eyes, gaze into the deep down ground where elephants sleep. Silence and me, wait for the accent strategy. the studio. That's me playing snare with brushes. But I'm just doing it with the picks on the stack today. Any sort of patience. I sit here waiting for the dawn. And you come walking out of silence. Out of the heart of my infatuation. That's how I wanted that song to end, but no one else in the fucking band wanted that. No, I'm kidding. That's a joke. Oh, that's not how I wanted that song to end. Oh, don't you believe me, friends? All right. Let's see. What about? Oh no, my stick. Oh, I lost the stick. It fell, but I have it again. So, you're welcome, world. Cool. So, what are you guys wanting to hear now? What about here? I'll play a random song. Well, not a random song, but just a song that isn't by Bentley. Let's see. Let me find something that was really influential on me as a drummer. Yeah, that's what I'll do. What about what's something I wouldn't expect any of you to know? That's an interesting challenge. I need to pick a song that. Oh boy, my stick just keeps falling. Oh boy, it's wow. All right, something I don't expect any of you to know. Well, let's see. I expect a lot of you to know Cardiacs. I expect you all to know Smashing Pumpkins. I expect you all to know King Crimson. I expect you all to know Talking Heads. I expect you all to know. Thinking of stuff I like to play to that. Okay, and I won't tell you what it is, but let's see. Let me scan around. I'll try and follow it, or I'll try and find one. Oh, okay. I know what to do. You sillies. Oh, you goofs. I know what to do. I know what to play. I know what to play. Hang on. It's coming. I've mentioned 90s punk. Have I? Who did I like that's a 90s punk? I mean, I enjoy punk music. It's a good thing. No, I didn't go be Nick Cave. Nick Cave's super known. He's like a big famous man. Nick Cave. That's what it says on his business card. Nick Cave, big famous man. This is okay. Hang on, not that song. Let's find the one that I want to find. Okay. Here it comes. All right. this song? It's a really good tune. It's called Nemesis by a group named Shriekback. Really good band. Let's just groove on this for a little bit. Let's just vibe. Great big fishes. Oh yeah, definitely 80s. So the keyboard player / singer in this band is a guy named Barry Andrews, who used to be in anybody. Can anybody guess? Yes, you're correct. If XTC is what you guessed, he was on the very first two XTC albums. I'm saying I forgot the first two. He's on those. Nice drinking water ASMR. Hey, I got a fun idea. You don't know XTC? Or I'm confused as to what XTC with the question mark meant. Yeah, kind of similar. Also, in a very short-lived. Oh, yeah, that's another Shriekback tune. He was also in that group with Robert Fripp, the League of was it the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, or the League of the Fripp band that had the League in it. Barry Andrews was in that. But I have an idea, and I believe this album is still on Apple Music. Yes, it is. Hey, do you guys want to hear the earliest known recordings of? Oh no, not Crafty Guitarist. This was like a short-lived kind of new wave band that Robert Fripp had just before like Discipline era Crimson got back together. The League of Gentlemen was the name of the group. They have an album out called God Save the King, which I don't know how in print it is at the moment, but I'm sure you can find it on the YouTube. The YouTube. XTC. Also, fun fact, Colin Moulding and Andy Partridge from XTC appear on the Residents commercial album. Moulding plays bass on Picnic Boy, and Andy Partridge does vocals on Margaret Freeman. That delicious vocal line. But anyways, so the earliest recording of me in a studio is on Apple Music. What do you say? And I may regret this once we start it, but what do you say we do a little listen through some of the tunes that I played on? I believe I was 15 for these tunes. So yeah, I believe I was 15 when on the drums. And I know that I'm only on some of these. Was I ons? I believe XTC was visiting San Francisco when they recorded for with the Residents down at the old Ralph Records studios. There's a great book about the Residents called Never Known Questions, which is where I got that little tidbit. All right, cool. So, wait, you tried to rewind, but it still glitched. What glitched? What? Oh, Drums and Wires is the name of the album. Drums and Wires. So yeah, this let's see. This song that I'm on, it's kind of a singer-songwritery thing. I was playing with a guy by the name of Sam Stearns, who he was in probably his early 30s when I played with him, but my family had a friend who, or has a friend still, who owned a studio, and my dad had told him that I was a drummer, and then I had sat in with his band once or twice, and then when this guy needed a drummer, little 15-year-old Gavin, let me double check. Yep, I'm on this song. I haven't heard this in a long time either. I found it again about 2 years ago. So let's see how I do.
I saw Dad once when a shadow of hate engulfed him and he knew no escape.
Oh boy.
I saw Mom trapped in a prison of guilt with walls of stone and bars
Here
of
comes a
steel.
groove.
Before I knew it, I was dying the same, locked in denial and projecting the blame.
Yeah, you can hear my little kind of, you know, my I'm 15. You know, that kind of thing. A lot of open hi-hat. I probably had to be reined in a lot when I was that age in terms of just wanting to play fills all the time.
And the people greeted me next to the fire. Relatives, they were, I needed no shame. Once again, I was a child.
There's a lot of compression on those toms. Hang on. I want to go back. I want to hear that again. There's so much compression on those toms.
Once again, I was a child.
They're very squished. Good God.
Water drum falls.
All right, I want to pause it there. That film that I did there has been with me since I was 15 years old. This kind of or what did I do? What did I do? I forgot, but it's something that sounded a lot like me, which given that it was me, but at this point 16 years ago. Oh dear God. You know. Let's hear a little bit of another one of these. Oh no. I accidentally clicked on the wrong thing. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, my friend. I think I played drums on this one. This one's called Poetry. Let's hear it. That's me, open hi-hat. I was probably directed to do the open hi-hat because I instinctively, I think back then, wasn't as big into that. I also didn't write these songs at all. That's not a comment on the songs. I just didn't write them.
Engage in revelation. No words flow.
In fact, probably back then,
your mind down to your arms.
Because I was,
your hand to your
you know, at that point I was already a big Rush fan. So probably when I came in to like play, I probably walked in with some groove like you know, probably with something a little too busy because I was exceptionally proud of my right foot back then. I always used to do like, you know, a whole lot of I just used to do a lot more foot speed foot kind of stuff back then. So yeah, I feel like the fact that what's on the album is I was probably heavily directed, rightly so. Like it's the part that should be in the tune, but you know. Oh, I forget. I actually forget. You know, I never really did a lot of Zeppelin. Well, I did learn "Immigrant Song," right, which is a big workout on the foot. You know, that kind of thing. Oh yeah, "Animate" by Rush. Right, that's how I remember it going. Um, yes, yes, there we go. Well, my friends, it is actually probably about that time for me to go. The time got away from me a little bit, so I don't exactly have a grand finale for you right now. But what do you say we do this again soon, my friends? For those of you who are on my Patreon, I'll put up a thing about when the next ones will be and when works for everyone. If you are not on my Patreon and you want to be, you can go to patreon.com/Gavin WA. Let me maximum ease of use. Hang on, just grabbing that link for you, my friends. Um, yes. So, but my Patreon link is right there. Yeah, so you can go there and join in on the fun. I've been doing some video game streams, which I enjoy doing them and they're fun to do. But I obviously, and I think you guys too, obviously enjoy the drumming stuff more because that's what I'm good at. And it is funny the difference between doing the video game streams and the drumming streams is I feel like I'm much more I get a little nervous doing the video game streams, which is weird because I can sit in front of a whole big group of people with insanely messy quarantine hair and play games and do stuff like that. But playing video games in front of people is shockingly nerve-wracking. It's it's wild. It's very interesting phenomenon. But my friends, thank you, all of you. I hope to see you all soon. I hope you're all staying safe. Hope you're all drinking lots of water. Maybe watch an episode of a TV show or a movie that you like today, if you can, if you got time, if that's something you want to do. Do what you want to do what you got to do. All these things. You got it. You got it. Well, my friends, have a good day. Bye bye. I'm gonna hit that ending button. I'm gonna hit that ending button. Yeah. Goodbye, friends.